So please welcome this week's special guest, Johnny. Johnny, what is Johnny to you?
This is Johnny, and we once pretended to be members of Take That to get backstage at a gig.
Right. Johnny's boy band buddy. Anna, how do you know Johnny?
This is Johnny, and it's my fault that he had to climb a mountain twice in one day.
Right. Anna's unhappy hiker. And finally, Lee, your relationship with Johnny.
This is Johnny. At school, we both fell victim to Brian Pimento's infamous Biscuit con.
So there we have it. David, where would you like to begin?
Johnny, what did you do with him? You snuck backstage?
Well, we didn't sneak.
Yeah.
What we did is we convinced an ignorant promoter in the early days of Take That that we would Take That. We didn't only snuck backstage, we wanted to go on as Take That.
Did you
And
go
you
on?
said that you were actually in the band.
We said that we were the band. We were at a local county show, and we decided it would be a good idea. Take That had just released It Only Takes a Minute Girl. So
Which is an unusual brag.
And they weren't that well known, so they booked them cheap, and we decided to just chance our arm and pretend that we were them.
And which particular member, because I'm struggling here to think who it would be.
This was a stroke of genius. Johnny told them that, like, every boy band needs one that's, like, everyone thinks they stand a chance with, and that was me. You always need one in the band that you think, yeah, I could.
Yeah. and that, Rob, is why we have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So where was this?
At a big show.
Well, a big show, that's not very specific.
Oh,
you said it was at a county show.
No,
so I'm-
no.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'm imagining there's a lot of livestock being sold and displayed. But what...
It wasn't that far.
Right.
Because before we were due to go on stage, they just judged the best rabbit.
I can totally imagine a kind of event where early in the evening they judge the best rabbit and then Take That comes on. But just in case not everyone can picture it, can we have some details?
It was St Helens,
What county is St Helens in?
Merseyside, and yet with the Cheshire postcode. Sort that out.
When was this, Johnny?
It was a big show. It was a big show.
Johnny, what happened? Did you get up onto stage?
No, what we did is we turned up and announced ourselves as Take That.
Yes. But there's only two of you.
He was better looking at the time. You know, marriage and running a pub hadn't ravaged him. And we turned up and just announced that we were Take That.
And how far did you get with it?
We got backstage. They were running late, so we were gonna go on as Take That.
Right.
And there was only one guy who, outside of myself, who'd seen the video.
Yeah.
And just as they were about to announce us on, he ran up and told us to get out.
All right. Who would you like to question next?
OK. First question, Anna, is what Johnny's saying true? The fact that you're considering it is bad news for your story. But can you remind us of your story? Something about a mountain twice.
Yes, it's my fault he had to climb a mountain twice in one day.
Which was the mountain?
It's called Cat Bells.
Anyone heard of a mountain called Cat Bells?
It sounded like she was trying to say Kathmandu and forgot the rest. Cat bells.
Where's Cat Bells?
It's this country, my love. It's near Keswick in the Lake
it's in the
District.
Lake District.
What was Johnny? Was he, like, with you on a trip? Was he your guide, or was he, like, an ambulance person?
Has it got to be one of the three?
I'm giving options.
OK, well, don't go through them all. We'll be here all day. Was he a fireman? Was he a postman? Was he a friend of your cousin or your cousin's friend? Was he your Uncle Pete or your Uncle Bob or your Auntie Pauline? Or just, you could use another system. Who was he?
Who was he?
Who was he?
Johnny's my friend.
Why was he and were you going up Cat Bells?
Because it was like an anniversary, friend group anniversary. Leave the children at home, get on the bits, but earn the things and do
Get
a
on
bit
the
of
bits.
exercise.
Get on the bits and earn the things. She's making perfect sense. Get on the bits and earn the things.
What do you mean?
Have you had a bang on the head? Get on the bits and earn the things, isn't it? What?
So
What are you talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
Lee's question. Please answer Lee's question.
We're marking 25 years of friendship
Right.
to earn the night out.
This is the exercise that you're doing to justify getting
Yeah.
drunk later.
Yeah.
And you go up Cat Bells,
Yeah.
tired, nice view. You go down Cat Bells. Why do you make him go up again?
Because I realised that I had lost my phone and presume my phone is at the top.
How
Yeah.
long does it take to get up Cat Bells?
About 2.5 hours.
Good Lord.
So I'm having a little, episode, a weep and a cry, and Johnny volunteers to go back up and get it.
Right.
And is that because Johnny fancies himself as Wolverine?
I've not seen those films. Is he a great phone fetcher?
Neither have I, but he's very Hugh Jackman, isn't he?
Have you not seen that film, David? Wolverine Phone Fetcher?
I think it's more that he's a very kind person, and I know a few things about Johnny, so...
So a mixture of goodwill and blackmail.
Yeah, I'm hasten to add, when Johnny was in my life, in my story, he was a very generous person. He always went out of his way to help.
In my story, he's an intolerable pillock.
So he goes back up to get the phone, then what happens?
And then I realised the phone is on my person. Johnny came back down and said, I'm so sorry I couldn't find it. And then I just said, oh dear, and kept hidden that I actually had it.
And when did you come clean?
Last New Year.
How did Johnny react when you told him?
He was pretty good-natured. He likes exercise.
All right, now what about Lee's story?
So-
Just remind us, Lee, what it is you're trying to convince us of.
This is Johnny, and when we were at school, we both fell victim to Brian Pimento's Biscuit con.
Who is Brian Pimento, and what was his biscuit con?
Good question.
Brian Pimento was a kid in our school who was a few years older than me and Johnny.
So how old were you at this point?
11 or 12.
And what was his biscuit con?
Well, he approached us in the playground and said, hello, boys, I've hidden a biscuit. Do you want to find it? He said that his dad worked for McVitie's as a lorry driver.
Yes.
And that he could get us a whole tin of assorted biscuits each. Those big Christmassy ones
Yeah.
with 3 layers.
And what did you have to do to get these?
Well, he said, so if your parents smoke and you can take some cigarettes from them and give them to me, I'll exchange it for 2 big tins of triple-stacked Christmas assorted biscuits.
How many cigarettes did he require for those biscuits?
5 each.
That's a good deal.
For who?
For, I would say for you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't.
David,
Yeah.
let's talk.
You stole 5 and Johnny stole 5 from his parents?
Didn't ask where he got his from.
OK.
You never ask questions with these sort of things. I said to him, where'd you get your cigarettes from? And he went,
I thought you said you never ask questions with these sorts of things.
no. That's what I learned when I said, where'd you get your cigarettes from?
So this was the next day, you turn... Is it? The
No,
day?
that evening.
That evening?
Meet us in the woods.
Nice and specific.
Meet us in the woods tonight and, and bring your keyboard.
What happened?
What happened?
He came and we thought he'd be on his own, like he was when he offered us the deal. From the bushes, 3 lads appeared either side of him. He took the cigarettes, he said thank you, and then they all started laughing their heads off at us.
Oh,
And said,
Lee.
ain't no biscuits, son.
All right, well, we need an answer. Is Johnny Johnny's boy band buddy, Anna's unhappy hiker, or Lee's scammed schoolmate?
what do you think?
I think it's Anna's hiker. I think that's the one that has the biggest ring of truth for me.
Lee's story was, fine. But the thing is, you and Johnny are not the same age.
Don't listen to her, Johnny. She's being very rude to you.
I see a lot of myself in Anna, and I would have gone up a mountain for bits. So I believe that side of it, and I think...
So you both think it's Anna.
What are you thinking, David?
We're going to go with Anna.
OK.
Yeah.
Right. So, Johnny, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Johnny, and Johnny and I pretended to be members of Take That.
Yes, Johnny is Johnny's boy band buddy. Thank you very much, Johnny. So please welcome this week's special guest, Martin. So, Zand, what is Martin to you?
This is Martin, and when I accidentally shaved off a chunk of my beard, he lent me some of his.
Maya, how do you know Martin?
OK, so this is Martin, and he once exercised my car because I thought it was haunted.
And finally, Lee, your relationship with Martin.
This is Martin. He freed me after I got my fingers stuck in a bowling ball.
So there we have it. David, where do you want to begin?
Zand, so he lent you a section of his beard?
Yes, so I had shaved off that side of my beard by mistake, and I needed...
How did you do that?
You put the teeth on the beard trimmer so that you have to adjust it.
Yes.
And I didn't put the teeth on and shaved my cheek twice. Zup, zup, cleared the cheek. Then I needed replacement beard hair.
And where does this chap come in?
I was filming a television programme the next day, and the problem was that we'd already filmed some of it, and so I had to keep the beard, and I also have it in my contract that I always have to have a beard because I have an identical twin brother, and without the beard I look like him, and then I can't.
I don't think that would be a problem because you still had some of the beard. I think you'd still be distinguishable from your... Unless he had madly grown a partial beard.
OK, so how do you come into contact with someone? Is this a service that someone provides whereby if you misshave, he'll help you out?
No.
Do you regret your Brazilian?
Well, with the help of this man's hairy face...
So, Martin is a sound person or an acoustic engineer on the TV show that I was working on, and he kindly trimmed off a bit of his beard and allowed me to glue it to my face.
So how many days did you have to film? Because presumably you'd have to remove this hair at the end of the day. You can't go to bed with that, can you?
So, at the end of the day, Martin gave me an envelope of his beard trimmings. He trimmed it
get
off.
away.
I carried the envelope. I had to film for the rest of the weekend, in fact, into the next week. And so for about 5 or 6 days, I was gluing... I had some eyelash glue and I was gluing
Because he gave you an envelope of his hair.
So he gave you a couple of clumps on that first day, and at the end of the day, he said, well, there you go, that'll see you through until the middle of next week.
So, and he must have lost a fair bit of his, then.
It's a mighty beard.
It's a dense beard, I will say that.
His beard does look like a feeder beard, like it's designed just to feed other beards.
Yes. It's like...
Wholesaler beard.
Right, who would you like to quiz next?
Maya, this car. What model of car was it?
Mercedes 500.
And what made you think it needed exorcising?
OK, well, I have quite a spiritual nan, spiritual Swedish nan, and I was telling her that it's always quite cold. There's 2 seats in the car. It's always quite cold. It feels like there's wind coming in, even when all the windows and there's no holes in it or anything like that. And sometimes when I go into my car park, which is underground, I have felt like someone touched me a couple of times, just on the shoulder or, like, there. And so I told her about it, and she was like, I know this guy Martin.
And it's probably him.
She said, you should have a little chat with Martin. He does this kind of thing. He goes and he'll get rid of the bad spirits and stuff like that. And if it is your new car, then it's best that you get it sorted out, you know?
I gotta say, you did say, so your nan's Swedish?
Yeah.
Martin does look strikingly Scandinavian.
He does, actually, doesn't he? You could imagine him on a hardwood floor.
What are you doing on this hardwood floor, Rob?
Being Swedish. Yeah, maybe it's a hardwood floor for a while, with high-quality hi-fi, nice speakers. So your nan said that he does this sort of thing. What does she mean by that?
Well, he's a medium. That's what these sort of people
Well,
do.
the medium is not the same as an exorcist.
Well,
is
I was
it?
going to say, medium isn't the same as an extra large.
No, I don't know.
To be clear, he is not a priest.
No, he doesn't.
That's your classic person who can do exorcism, is a priest.
Yeah,
I don't think they do cars, though. I mean, I know things have gone bad for the church, but...
Exorcism is quite a loose term here because I know there are a lot of people that they clear energy.
Yeah, like they read your cards and they say, oh, there's someone in the room and that kind of stuff.
So he's more of a general...
Charlatan.
He's a ghost.
If it's true, I'm going to get killed, but it's not true because he got my finger stuck in a bowling ball and helped me out.
If it was true. So Maya, talk us through what he did for you.
So I'm going to be honest, I wasn't in the car. It's a two-seater. He got in the car. I stayed a little bit away.
So there wasn't room for you and him and the ghost?
Of course not. And then, basically, I watched from a distance. He was shouting for a little while. And then he did vibrate a little bit. And then that was about it.
So like this?
So you were a bit further away, so did you see him just...
I just saw a shaking, bearded man.
What was
Could
he
you
saying?
see his hands when he was vibrating?
Yes, that's important.
I can't remember. His hands were on show.
All right. His hands were on show, as far as we know. And how did he finish? No, Roman, Kent! What would your listeners think?
No, how did it end? He came out of the car and then he said, well, I've done what I can. I've had a word.
Done what I can.
She does so well, and then she gets to the end, and she's like, then he just got out and said, see you later, bye, there you go. It's almost the last bit, and you just drop the ball.
I'm having a laugh. I'm playing along. But he did. He said he basically had finished what he needed to do. He'd come to the end of the exorcism.
So did he give you any feedback about what he'd cleared?
Well, he did. He looked at me and he said, like that. No, he acknowledged the fact that there was, in fact, something in there.
So he didn't say you've wasted your money hiring me. That needed doing.
He confessed.
That was a big one in there.
OK, so what exactly did Martin say that he found?
Well, he wasn't that clear, I'll be honest. He just said it was a spirit. I think there's levels to this ghost talking stuff. Like it
Spirit
depends
levels.
How far in you
OK. Now, what about Lee? Remind us, Lee, of your claim.
This is Martin, and he once helped me when I got my fingers stuck in a bowling ball.
Oh. So when was this?
This was about a year ago.
And who are you bowling with? Family trip?
It was my son's birthday.
Oh.
What was Martin's job at the bowling alley?
He didn't have a job at the bowling alley. He was in the lane next to me.
Which finger got stuck?
It was those two fingers got stuck.
They both got stuck.
I know.
Wow. And above the knuckle, did you?
Not tonight, darling.
Did you plunge them in?
So I went into the ball, like that. I'm thinking, hello, and then I'm thinking, it's I've picked up the wrong ball. Picked up a 12 kilogram, not a 14. I've only gone and put my fingers in all that's too small. My fingers are stuck. Oh well, give me something to talk about on the show.
So how did he get him out? How did he get him out?
He said, are you all right, mate? And I said, I've actually got my fingers stuck in the ball. And he said, well, can I help you? I said, I don't know, are you qualified? And he said, no, I've never done anything like this in my life. I said, well, neither have I. That's two of us.
This is sounding quite romantic now.
Yeah, so I touched his face gently, but knocked him out.
Yeah. Okay. Then later he came round.
Yes. Yeah. I said, how did you get my address?
Yeah.
He said, can I help you? I said, you tell me. So he said, all right, let's see if we can pull it off. So he held on. The children held my arm as he pulled. Right. And it didn't work. So he said, why don't I go to the kitchen and get something to use as a sort of lubricant?
OK.
And he came back with quite a large tub of butter.
When he's gently lubing your fingers up...
Yeah.
And there's a man you've never met before and your wife's off and it's just you and him, what were you talking about?
Oh, you know, we were chewing the fat. And he said, don't, we'll need that.
Is that what did it?
Eventually, the lubrication and the excessive pulling and a little bit more pulling from the opposite direction from my wife and the kids at the party resulted in and out it came.
All right, so we need an answer. So David's team, is Martin Zahn's bearded buddy, Maya's car cleanser, or Lee's finger freer?
I think I'm sceptical about Lee's story, but the problem is that the other two stories are, one is that he exorcised a car, and the other is that he lent some beard hair.
It's definitely Zander.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's fine. We're fine.
So you're willing to accept that this man took clippings from his own beard, put them into an envelope, gave them to Zand, and he then stuck them onto his face.
Rob, if you were to take trimmings of your beard, what exactly, and you had to give them to someone, what exactly are you meant to be putting them in anyway?
Tupperware.
What did you say he worked in? He works in the audio department.
He could work in the audio department, but also he could be a Scandinavian exorcist, I suppose. I haven't seen many Scandinavian
Could work in a bowling alley.
No.
He didn't work in a bowling alley, did he? He just had to be there.
No, hang on, he didn't work. That's why I was getting confused, because he was temping.
Maya, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah,
I believe in ghosts.
Do you? Why do you believe in ghosts?
Why not?
Well, because they patently don't exist.
You're not going to logic bomb me.
OK, if there's so many ghosts, well, if ghosts exist, why are they always in isolated places rather than absolutely cramming central London?
I don't believe
people have been living and dying in misery in central London for 2,000 years in that square mile. You shouldn't be able to move for ghouls. And yet you don't see them there in the modern office blocks, or with the plague, or being eaten by a lion in Roman times, or having their head chopped off for no reason. Oh, no, it's in one pub where a total of 2,000 people have lived ever. That's where the ghosts hang. It doesn't make any sense.
So what are you going to say, David?
OK.
What are you going to say?
It's 100% Zander.
Right, well, are we happy to go with that?
I think so.
Yeah, we're going to go with that.
Saying it's Zand. OK.
Yeah.
Martin, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Martin, and I lent Zander my beard.
Yes, Martin is Zand's bearded buddy. Thank you very much, Martin.